is that I sort of felt like he kind of threw the first haymaker when he was, making jokes about you and your coach. And so when you heard that, what was your reaction to that? Before we get to the things that you said, like I did feel like he kind of, threw that first proverbial punch, if you will. What was your reaction to the stuff he was saying about you and your coach?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't care what he's saying. I mean, there's nothing he can say to get to me. There's nothing that's going to trigger me the way he got triggered. It's not going to happen. And then this is a fight game. All is fair, love and war. You have to be ready for that. And I start out like every other press conference and every other time I interact with my opponents. They are not my enemy. They are not my friend. They are my opponent. They are an object in my way to my goal, and that is the only thing I see. So I respect every single man that steps into the octagon in front of millions of people. It takes a lot of balls. So when I started my press, if you go watch that press conference, I started 100% respectful towards Sean, and I'm confident in myself. I'm never belittling my opponent. I'm always talking about me because that's what it's about. I'm concentrating on me, not on him. And he threw a jab pretty early on in the conversation in the press conference, and I just let it slide. I said, "Oh well, let's go." And I answered the questions that were asked, and then when I feel like when he didn't get the attention of the crowd, when he didn't get the crowd going like he usually does, because that's what he has. He has that outrageous things that he says. He says outrageous stuff. He rambles. He just screams over everybody, and that's how he operates. So when he didn't get that, he sort of in that presser became irrelevant to a sense. And then he said, "No, listen, we're not going to be friends." And then he came at me, and I'm never going to let that slide. I'll always respect you if you respect me. I'm going to treat you the way you treat me. I'm not going to be bullied. Does he think he can bully me? That ain't happening. I've never been bullied, and I won't be bullied. I'll never let that slide. So he tried to bully me, and I gave him some of his own medicine. I just did it better.
And so obviously that really did seem to upset him, as we learned later on. Do you regret anything that you said about his past?
No, I don't regret anything. I said what I said. I didn't go out there and plan what I said. But listen, if you're dishing it out, you're going to get it. And I'm not going to keep on hammering on it. Like I said, I stand by what I said. I did not joke about it. What happened was fact. I stated fact. I didn't joke. He joked about it. In previous interview, he joked about all of that. I didn't joke about it. I stated the facts, and it obviously had a massive effect on him. And I won't be hammering on that because it's not necessary. The result that I got, the results that I wanted. I don't need to hammer on one thing. Obviously, it's terrible that it happened to him, but it did, and don't project onto others what you don't want to happen to you. That's the way it is. He disrespected me, disrespected my coach, and I won't let that slide. So take that, and now we're on a clean page. We start over. It's strictly business. It's never personal. Nothing's personal. I have no animosity towards him. I said what I said. What happened. There's no animosity from my side. At least I'm here to do my business. I'm here to win a fight.
Him saying like, hey, there are certain things that you shouldn't talk about and there are certain lines you shouldn't cross, when he has been the one crossing a lot of those lines, not only with opponents, but with the likes of Ian Gary, people who he's not fighting, who aren't even in his weight class. So your reaction when at least you may have heard, read, or seen any of that?
Yeah, I mean, I watched some clips on it. I didn't watch the whole interview. Like I said, watching grown man cry is not really my genre. But I think what I said is I'm glad he got it out. I hope it's the end of that. He had a lot to say about Khalil Roundtree crying. And he said how weak of a man beta male Khalil is for crying. He did the exact same thing, just on a bigger stage. And, not talking about somebody's wife. I'm assuming because he has somebody in his life, now that became a thing where he didn't care about Ian Gary's wife when he said what he said. And it wasn't his place to say anything. I mean, but whatever. I mean, he is what that's the one thing in this whole situation where I feel Sean, whatever he said, it doesn't matter because he's a funny character. I actually quite enjoy him. Is the hypocrisy is what what made me. That was the one area where people could lose respect for Sean Strickland, because he's always unapologetically himself. But as soon as he got his own medicine, as soon as he was on the receiving end for the very first time, when I got on that mic, we saw him backpedal and trying to play the sympathy. God, he wanted sympathy. He was acting like he had that victim mentality immediately. Can't do that if you say the things you say. Talking about people who can't dodge buses on somebody who died, a fighter who died. So is that not over the line? So you, Mr. Moral Compass, doesn't decide where the line is. He doesn't have the right to decide where that line is. And now all of a sudden the line is where he wants it to be. No, I don't think so. And that's what I said. The one thing where, like I said, I have a lot of respect for him. I'm actually quite fond of Sean Strickland. The one thing is the hypocrisy that you can go and say, listen, this is not the way to go. You stick to your guns. Stick to trying to be a tough guy. That's what you can do.
Are you in the position that you're in now? Do you think that you are in his head, under his skin?
Yeah, probably. Well, I like to think so, but it's not something I consider. It's part of the warfare, 100%. But I don't think, like, that's what I said. I think he reacts. He's an emotional guy when it comes to mindset. He's gonna react the way he's gonna react in the moment. He doesn't. Maybe now, I think the people around him have to say, listen, we have to be calm. You can't go with that hatred and people saying, oh, he's in shape now because he's so motivated. If you're motivated by anger, your demise is around the corner. That is fact. So yeah, I think maybe he was, but I think he had some time to cool down. Maybe it's over, but I guess we'll see on Saturday night, and I'll see how he behaves at the press conference.
So when they had you guys sitting right next to each other at the event, what was your reaction? Were you surprised? Who was there first, you or him?
No, he was there first. So I arrived there as just before the first main card fight. And obviously, I get my ticket and I look at the seating numbers. So I see him where the fighters sit. I see him on the other side of the road, like the complete opposite side of where I am. And I start looking for my seat number, me and my teammate around us. And the security guy goes, "No, you're on that side." And I think that's very interesting because I immediately knew they're probably not going to set us together. And I remember my teammate saying, "Listen, I know how this is ending." He says, "It's not even a teammate; it's like a team manager." And he says, "I said, just relax. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be fine. We're professionals. We're not going to fight each other here." And he says, I know this situation. He's like, yeah, you're not going to do it. It's going to be fine. But he kind of knows when it comes to my career, when it comes to fighting, for that time being 100%, I'm there. I'm in that mindset, but I'm stronger mentally than that. The fighter will show up when he needs to. And yeah, obviously when we sat next to each other, I didn't even consider it, to be honest with you. When I saw him, he was just one row in between us, literally right in front of me. So, I mean, I was looking at the back of his head, but I mean, it didn't bother me at all. I was there for 2-3 fights before. Obviously, when the cameras came on, that's where things went south, because me knowing that the Vegas crowd's going to be booing me, I had to make a plan, and I just booed with them towards him. And then he was obviously feeling that anger from the press conference, so that was in his head for sure. And there was some back and forth, and what happened, but no, it wasn't anything that stuck with me. It was a good old scrap. What happened. Nobody got injured. Thank you for that. And the fight's continuing. That's the most important part, that we still get to fight, because if things went in a certain way, the fight could have been in jeopardy, and luckily that didn't happen.
Before that little interaction on camera, did you guys say anything to each other?
Yeah, it was a lot of banter. When as soon as he turned around, I said something, he said something. Nothing specific. It was more in a sense of, I said something like, "Yeah, what are you going to do?" Or something in that sense. And he says, "You want to do this?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And yeah, it was something along those lines.
Were you surprised that he ultimately did what he did?
Not too surprised, but it was a good test. That's why I said I got respect for him being the man that he says he is, because I was calling him out. I was telling him, if you want to do it, do it. Like, what are you going to do? And that's something you have to respect. That's something you have to respect, because I was at that stage, I was trying to get under his skin when we were there. And yeah, like I said, the game plan went perfectly.
What about the fact that he asked Gilbert's kids and wife to move out of the way? I mean, that was pretty nice of him, no?
Yeah, no, that's super nice, super nice. Like I said, I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I don't think Sean Strickland is a bad guy. I really don't. I don't think he's a bad guy. And yeah, so I mean, yeah, he does. Like all of us, we have our flaws, but yeah, he's not a bad guy.
Did you consider any sort of actions against him afterwards? I think I saw something where the UFC asked you if you wanted to press charges. Is that true? Did you consider anything?
Yeah, I mean, they came over and said, listen, he's backstage, the cops have him. Or, yeah, but I mean, what? There's no way, why? There's no way that would have ever even occurred to me. I couldn't believe it. I said, no. Getting into Canada is hard.
Yes.
You know, for us, especially from South Africa, like the visa process is very due diligently, but there was no way. And they obviously, things work a little bit different in the United States as in South Africa. In South Africa, that's a good old Friday night out, and not even a very good one. People would be very disappointed if that was the fight they saw in a bar. But it never even occurred to me. No, that's. If you live by the sword, die by the sword. If if you're looking for trouble and you get it, don't go and crying to mama and looking to open up a case or to sue anybody. If you're looking for trouble and you get it, it's your bed, you made it. The hardcore MMA fans definitely knew this fight and know this fight is going to be it's going to be a fan-friendly fight. It's going to be a banger. Everybody knows that. But then your people, a lot of people, I think, in terms of entertainment value, want the drama. They don't necessarily know the sport in a way where they know my style, his style, that is going. There's no way this is not an explosion. But they want that drama. And like I said, I don't do fake drama. I don't do fake hype. I don't do fake beef. I'm myself. You respect me, I respect you. And when this happened, I think we got the everybody that was on the fence about, is this a good fight, is it not? We convinced them that it is. And I think it definitely did great for the numbers. Not in the best way to get the promo going, but it is what it is. It's the fight game at the end of the day. We are fighters, and sometimes things happen.